Hi everyone, this is Debono of the Fortune Teller Shop. How are you all? What's happening in the tarot world? So I'm going to do a question and answer video. You ask questions and I will try to answer. So the topic will be anything to do with tarot cards, the tarot industry, anything like that. So feel free to ask about anything about tarot industry, tarot issues, anything you want to ask me, okay? Emma Louise says, I prefer using darker cards such as the Deviant Moon or Santa Morte, but someone said that the Deviant Moon wouldn't be suitable for my PTSD. I've never had any problem. I actually prefer its straightforward answers. Would you continue using them or take on board what someone with more years experience has said? So it depends what kind of reader you want to be. My answer to the Deviant Moon, I actually think the Deviant Moon cards are very beautiful in particular, but they are very weird looking. Okay, there's a lot of skulls in them in the artwork, and I would not recommend those cards for if you're reading for the public, because people that come to you to pay you for a reading, they might be scared, they might be maybe they don't trust you if it's your first time. If they've seen you for the first time, they might think all those skulls are bad and evil, or bad energy, bad luck, that kind of thing. So I would not use them on a client, because it just adds anxiety to the client if they start seeing cards that are very scary looking, or with skulls and bones and things like that. Okay, so I wouldn't use them for the general public. I would just simply use a Rider-Waite deck or something that isn't so scary looking. And secondly, if you are reading the Deviant Moon cards for yourself, that's fine. You can read whatever. If you're in your lounge room or bedroom and just doing readings for yourself, you can use whatever cards you want, because it doesn't really make any difference. But if you are doing it for professional purposes, I would not recommend my students do that. I would tell them to use a deck that is not going to cause issue with the client. After all, if you're a professional, you're there for the client, not for yourself. Like, there are decks that I prefer, but I know that for my client, that's not the best tool. Just like if you went to a doctor. If you went to a doctor and your doctor, your doctor really loves syringes. They've just got a fascination with syringes, and they start putting big syringes on their wall as trophies, right? They might love syringes. That might be their fetish even. But if they're in a surgery and the client's coming, that's not going to help the client. That's going to make the client scared. Well, it would make me scared anyway. I wouldn't want to go to a doctor's surgery and see a display of syringes on the wall, So if you are doing this professionally, you need to think of your client, right? But if you're doing it for yourself, that's fine. If that's your preferred deck, then there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, so Emma just said, I just use them for me. I tend to use Rider-Waite for others. Well, there you go. That's exactly right. If you want to use them for yourself and that's a deck you like and you relate to that deck, that's perfect. But yeah, I would just be careful. I tell that to my students anyway. I say to my students, if you want to be a professional, you are there for the client, not for yourself. If you prefer a certain deck, but that deck is scary, then that's not going to work, Unless you want to be a reader that scares people. If you want to be the type that scares people and makes them feel insecure, and then you've got the power over them, and then you can sort of say, oh, you've got a curse on you and you need to give me lots of money to remove this curse, that would probably work if you have a scary tarot deck. But if you want to actually assist people on their journey, then that's not something that you would, that I would recommend that someone use. Okay. Very good. Any other questions? Okay. Adam, question. Paris, have you ever had a client come to you because of a gypsy fortune teller told the client of a curse, on him or her, and that the client had to pay a bunch of money to fix the problem? Yes, I have, and I have that a lot, and it happens often. So basically, let me just summarize. So Adam's asking if I've had a client that's come to me and they've been to another fortune teller or card reader, and that reader's told them that they have a curse. Yes, I have had that a lot. Often I have to do a bit of counseling on the client. So sometimes I'd talk to the client about what do they believe about curses, and I would say to them, do you believe that someone has the power to stop you from doing what you want to do? And I would sort of see where they're at. Now, if they're very superstitious, I would say to them, your fears are that someone's stopping you from having the love you want, or having the job you want, or the prosperity. And I would say, do you think that in this universe that is allowed? Because if we could stop other people from having love or success or career or money or whatever by curses, then wouldn't everybody in the world be cursed? Wouldn't nobody be successful and nobody have love? If we were all cursed, if that was something that could actually happen, if we were all cursed, because we'd all have enemies somewhere and jealous people, right? We'd all be cursed, wouldn't we? So that means none of us would be successful in anything, because we'd all be stopped from being successful. So I would have a talk to the client. Some clients actually, like the idea of them being cursed, because it gives them drama. Like I have a male client, for example. This comes to mind, and I actually did a reading for him yesterday. So I have a male client that I've had now for a couple of months. Okay, the first time I met him, he said that he's got a curse on his love life. So I said, okay, so when I did the reading, I said, I can't see a curse here. All I can see is that the woman you're wanting doesn't want to be with you, but there's no curse involved. She just doesn't want to be with you. He said, no, she wants to be with him, but she's got a curse on her, or he has a curse on him, which is preventing her to come to him. And I said, no. I said, she just does not want to be with you. There's no curse involved. She just does not want to be with you. Then he told me that some person online, some fortune teller or card reader or some whatever, I don't even know who they were, what they were, but someone told him that if they reverse this curse, then this woman will be with him. Okay? Now, I said to my client, so did you follow the advice of this person? And he said, yes. He paid for this person to do a spell removal, a curse cleansing, or whatever it was. And then I said to my client, so did it work? Did this curse remover, this person that said that they can remove this curse, did it actually work? And he said, no. And I said, well, your mate just made my point. This woman still doesn't want to be with you. So you've paid for someone to remove a curse on this woman that doesn't want to be with you. The curse was that once it's removed, she will want to be with you, but apparently she still doesn't want to be with you. So, yeah, it depends. Some people like the idea that they've been cursed because it gives them a reason, a denial. See, this client could not be with the fact that this woman does not want to be with him. So he created in his own psychology, the only reason that she doesn't want to be with him, it's not because of him, it's because she's been held back by some evil other person. Okay? So there's a lot of psychology that goes into it. A lot of people, when I get a client that does have that mentality, I often have to do a little bit of like a psychology reading on them to see whether they're, another one is, I had another one a while ago. It was a woman. She said that she was cursed in her career because she couldn't get a promotion. Okay, so someone at work cursed her. That's why she just was not getting a promotion. And I looked at the cards and I could not see such a thing. I could just see that she just was not probably very successful in her career because she just wasn't that good at it. And she probably wasn't didn't have the talent it took to rise up in the industry that she was in. I could not see that someone was putting a curse on her career. I could just see that she just was not, maybe she just didn't have the talent to rise up and go up further. Or perhaps there wasn't the opportunity. Maybe the company just couldn't promote her at that time as well, especially with COVID. I mean, sometimes companies right now can't really push forward a lot of their workers because of the limitation on profits and stuff like that. So basically she was blaming an outside magical source, but really I think it was just herself. Okay, so there are different people use that curse thing. Sometimes I feel sorry for a client because they're scared and they're being told by some idiot that they've got a curse on them, but other times people use it as a bit of a crutch as well. So it kind of goes both ways. Some people may be fearful that they've got a curse on them because someone told them that and they believe it. And those ones I try to alleviate their fear by explaining things. But then there are people that I've noticed that kind of hold on to this thing that they're only not getting what they want, whether it's a love relationship or career, because some evil person has blocked them energetically. Okay. And I think those people tend to hide behind a curse because then it keeps them off the hook. Because this, for example, this male client that I was talking about, he can't be with the fact that this woman just doesn't want to be with him, but really she just doesn't love him and doesn't want to be with him. And I told him that, I met him about a year ago, this client. He's already come about 3 different times for a reading, and the last time he came was yesterday. She still doesn't want to be with him. The cards just do not show relationship with him and her. So there's no curse there. It's just she doesn't want to be with him, and that's the simple fact. Okay? Alrighty, well, I'm going to leave this video here. I was just a short little video, okay? This is Debono of the Fortune Teller Shop.